honest. I love what I do. There are times when it's really hard, but I love a challenge, and so I think more than anything, it's just helping people, you know. And there's that aha moment when somebody finally gets everything that I'm trying to tell them, and all of a sudden they're flossing and they're brushing and they're engaged in their own care, and that makes, I mean, that's really the culmination of everything, and I guess that's really what I like most about it. I chose dentistry because, well, honestly, because I was a reckless kid. Back in the 70s, we didn't wear seat belts when we were in cars. We came through an intersection, somebody ran a red light. I came out of the back seat and hit the dashboard with my face. Turns out that one of our neighbors was the oral surgeon on the base, and so he put me back together, doing some stunt riding on my bicycle, flipped over backwards, and I knocked one of my front teeth out with my knee, and somebody put that back in for me. And you know, I was always going in just kind of broken up, and I'd come back out, you know, and these guys had put me back together, and I just kind of felt like, you know, I could do this. I joined a colleague here right after I got out of dental school. My wife and I moved back to Spokane in 1995, and I've been working in this area as a dentist since then. Time came for me to get out on my own, and so I had an opportunity that presented itself in Coeur d'Alene. But I was driving 100 miles a day, and when I started that, I didn't have my daughter, and you know, she's about 6 years old, and I realized I'm spending an awful, you know, I would leave in the morning before she was awake, and sometimes I'd come home after she was asleep, and that wasn't working for me. The opportunity came for me to relocate, cut a number of miles out of my commute. I get to drive my daughter to school every day, which is awesome. And the journey as far as dentistry is concerned has been ever changing. I'm not even sure how to describe it, to be honest. Everything about this profession changes continually. The materials that we use change, the technologies and the techniques that we use are different. It's been a great journey, to be honest. Again, like I said, I love what I do. I think if I had to put my finger on one thing, it's that we all believe that we're all part of a collective philosophy. Everybody here believes in the same thing, and that is educating people, getting them to understand why dentistry is important. Oral health is important because it affects the rest of your body. It's important for us that people understand why we're doing what we're doing, and that what we do will only succeed if they're participating in it. I didn't honestly think that I was cut out for it. One of my hygienists kept kind of on me about it, and finally got me to come in and take a look. One of the cool things about teaching is that, especially in that environment, is there's a group of people who they're eager to know what I know, and they pay attention because they want to, not because they have to. These kids, they want to know what I have to say, and it makes the interactions fun. I get to teach people, and because of that, and because I'm constantly teaching them, it forces me to stay up on the latest innovations and the latest techniques, and I think it makes me a better clinician. You know, we pride ourselves on the use of technology, but we do that not for technology's sake, but because it makes us better at what we do and allows us to communicate better with the patients, which is ultimately the thing. We can do things now that we could never have even dreamed of. We can virtually place implants using cone beam CTs. We can, so that when the time comes to do surgery, we know exactly where that implant is going to end up. We can virtually design restorations with partial dentures, complete dentures, on computer systems. And we can 3D print models or mill models of those things so that we can see if they fit properly. The technology, because it changes, it forces you to keep up with it and continue to learn. And that's what's exciting for me, I guess, really, is more than anything, is just to be, is the constant learning process.